the land of the rising sun. Ndane kuma kahabo, Ndi Biafra, Umu Jacob, Israel na Africa, na the Gulf of Guinea. Hey, Biafra is sure. His Excellency, Mazi Simon Eba Joko, the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic. Omogena nabata in Europe. Anyị na-asị gị nnọọ. Ọbata obi nke Biafra. Onye ngụgụ akwa ụmụ Biafra. Ọchụ arịrị nke Biafra. Anụ nkankampi. Mmejiri gbagụ onye ire asị na ọ dịrọ nkọ. Oche na mmụọ. Ọ dịka nke mire. Ume na-eme Fulani. The end of Nigeria. You are the Joshua of Biafra. You are leading us to the promised land. Biafra government in exile. The cabinet members of the government in exile. The de facto government in the homeland. Anyị sunu jisike o. Ọ ga-abara unu. Ọ bụnagodu onye isi na-afụ ụzọ na-afụ mbọ unu na-agba. Jisike n'ọrụ. Our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Okukalo, Ohamadike one of Biafra, Dike Ana Ogunanya, the Black Messiah. Ogbara Nigeria n'olu, Kelo Abusobu, Kabupo. The symbol of African freedom.
Again, every time Nigeria is ringing bell. If I look on news, it is bell. If I look social media, it is problem. When I should be drinking coffee, they will make me to come online. They don't want to have me to rest. But you know what? You know what? The spirit in me, the Biafra spirit in me, I said, when I told you, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is looking for 100 people, I promise that I have 50 in me. You have not seen anything. It is not by my power. It is not by my power. It is not by my power. But, you know, as my own oru, I am a you understand? Till Biafra come. But today you are going to receive sense. The crypto, Nigeria crypto. As they are crippling your economy, they close border. They closed the border. ESN came out. Medusa went very deep in the forests.
Welcome. Thank you for joining on this very amazing program. I appreciate everyone that has connected wherever you are connecting from. I thank you for joining us. And on today's program, as we all know, the recognition of Biafra is something that every one of us is holding on to. Biafra will be recognized regardless what the enemies are saying, regardless their propaganda and their blackmail. We will continue to pursue the recognition of Biafra. Nothing is going to stop the recognition of Biafra, whether the enemy likes it or not. Biafra must be recognized. The time has come to pursue the recognition of Biafra, and everyone today that is still following suit on this very struggle, you have to know that today the restoration and recognition of Biafra is under the United States of Biafra. That United States of Biafra today is being controlled by Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, the Deputy Prime Minister, stroke COS interim. And her government is doing everything humanly possible to prepare Biafra for what is coming ahead. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa have done a great job. Every single thing we are doing today is according to the plan laid down by Mazi Simon Ekpa. Remember, in the word of our Deputy Prime Minister, she said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa have put in place every structure for the restoration of Biafra. And that structure is what we are following. It is page by page. Once we get to the page, it will be open. Those who do not understand will understand. Those who don't see clear will see. Today, you know the stage where we are. We are in a stage of recognition and full restoration on the ground. On that very recognition stage, the government of Biafra, the United States of Biafra government, under our Deputy Prime Minister today, is doing everything humanly possible to make sure that Biafra gets the recognition. Letters and documents are sent to the necessary places. All the ministries are working effectively, more especially External Affairs Ministry. They are writing letters and sending delegates to governments of the world for recognition. Some of the countries that have recognized us in the past, letters are prepared through our lawyer, Dr. Levy. And this information are passed through. Do not be deceived or distracted. The only government today we have that is genuinely fighting for Biafra is the United States of Biafra. And the United States of Biafra government is one. There is no parallel government anywhere. The United States of Biafra government is one and only one. Don't deceive yourself. Don't get distracted. Don't listen to anybody. The United States of Biafra government is one and only. Every document is in the hand of the government of Biafra, under the command of our Deputy Prime Minister today, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. Every single document that made us the United States of Biafra, every single document that more than 60 million have signed up to, those documents are signed by Dr. Ngozi Orabueze on behalf of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and she has all those documents with her. Copies are with our lawyers, and our lawyer is sending the documents to the necessary authorities and countries and places. Anybody projecting himself somewhere, ignore them. Don't even pay attention. Don't challenge them. Don't talk about them. They are going to fizzle away. The world does not act based on sentiment. They act based on fact. And the only thing that can show that fact are the documents you have with you. If you are standing under the command of a Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, count yourself lucky. You are in the right boat. You have no need to be afraid. You have no need to be scared. The restoration of Biafra has already come, and there is nothing any human being can do. Let the whole world continue to run right, left, and center, preach their lies and blackmail. We are not distracted, and we will not be deterred. We are focused, and our focus is on the restoration of the independent state of Biafra. No blackmail, no propaganda is going to change us or drive us to an angle that we do not want to be in. So wherever you are, continue to focus on that which matters. Continue to focus on that which concerns us, the most important issues. Focus on them, because that is the right way to go. Whatever propaganda or blackmail they are pushing out there, do not allow them to distract you. It does not matter what you hear. It doesn't matter what you see. Follow the truth. Only the truth shall set you free. Today, there is nothing we are doing that has not been done in the past. We are doing what other people have done and got their freedom. That is what we are doing. And we are doing the right thing. Wherever you are today as a Biafran, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama, give your utmost support to the Biafran government, any place you are. The United States of Biafra government is one and only one. Under the command of our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi, and she has all the documents that is needed, whenever it's needed, by any organization, international communities, or countries. And I want you to know that Mazi Simon Ekpa have put in place a lot of structures. We have lobbies that are working for us. Forget about the lobby that have sold out. That very lobby that came and pushed propaganda and sold out thought that he's the only one, but he's not the only one. We have lobbies, we have lawyers that are working for Biafran government across board. And every one of them is following the government structure put in place by our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. If you align yourself outside the structure of Mazi Simon Ekpa, the government of Mazi Simon Ekpa, you will put yourself in trouble. Follow that very structure. There is no problem in the government of Mazi Simon Ekpa. They have not failed. Neither has anything stopped working. Had it been that the government of Mazi Simon Ekpa is not effective, we will know. Either in his absence or his presence. If the government is not working, that is a different ballgame. But the government of Mazi Simon Ekpa have been very effective. From the very first day he was stopped from communicating to us, the government continued to function, information continued to come, everything continued to go. We went ahead to declare Biafra without any delay, even when some other people were trying to stop it. Even on the stage that day, somebody came out and began to condemn the Biafra that was declared on the 29th. But today, some people have forgotten all this drama and they are still channeling their energy on the wrong path. We have nothing to explain to you, only watch. My joy is that the government of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, that is today being run by the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orongo, the COS, is doing everything humanly possible to see that we're on the right track. And I bet you there is no going back and there is no fear anyway. For you to know that we are not the first people that have done what we are doing today, I want you to listen to this.
In 1976, the United States separated from the United Kingdom by declaration. Today, they are the world power. In 1830, Belgium separated from Netherlands. Today, they are one of the most powerful countries in Europe, both of the countries. In 1965, Singapore separated from Malaysia. Today, they have transformed into global financial hub as a result of the separation. Why is it that when we call for separation, Nigeria and their criminals will be calling us terrorists? Don't fall for it. The past separation has led to the upsurge of economic development in the case of India and Pakistan. Norway, Denmark, Switzerland. Each of these separation has led to the upsurge of economic and development. In 2002, East Timor separated from Indonesia. In 1921, Ireland separated from the United Kingdom. Today, they are one of the powerful countries we have. In 1944, Iceland separated from Denmark, demonstrating that nations can part away without violence. Why do you kill Biafrans? Whenever we say we are fed up of Nigeria. In Nigeria, where you have dangerous diversity, in Nigeria, where you have the northern part of Nigeria practicing Islamic State, practicing Islamic Sharia law, and they have different culture, different laws, different rules, different everything. And with that kind of mentality and setup, we can never develop as a nation. That is the reason we call for the separate state, and of course for independent state for Biafra. Apart from the killings, genocide against our people, and jihad. In 1905, Norway and Sweden separated and goes their separate ways. Today, they are one of the most powerful countries in Europe because of the separation. In 1947, India and Pakistan separated. The list can go on and on and on.
You have heard it. These are countries that did exactly what we are doing today. So we are not the first people to do it. Our separation from Nigeria today didn't start from us, and we did it for a reason, because of the destructive diversity. We don't have the same value system with the people in that contraction called Nigeria. We are different people in all ramifications. We are different, and we cannot continue to force ourselves into this madness that is called the zoo. And if you are a Biafran, you have not woken up yet to align yourself with the right path, to align yourself with the government of Biafra. I am sorry for you. You don't know what is coming. If you are a Biafran and you are still aligning yourself with the criminals, those who have refused to see reason, those who are being paid by the zoo to work against their own freedom, if you align yourself with them, you will have yourself to blame. My fellow Biafrans that are listening to this program, wherever you are listening from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiyama to continue to pay attention to that which is right. The message is clear. There is only one United States of Biafra. Only one, not two. There is only one. And those who are trying to bring confusion and their cohorts, if you allow them, the same fate that is facing them will face you. And I want you to hear this from the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Aragwezi.
Committee that has been officially dissolved by the Biafra Republic government in exile in a constituted meeting with a vote of 20-9. That committee was dissolved. Then these lobbies went ahead to post on Twitter that the CRC appointed somebody else. I mean, the analysis by our legal department on the action of these lobbies is really very, very grave. I don't know if that lobbies have realized the degree of the harm he did, not just to his profession, but also he tried to do to the government. But thank God, the government has all the documents to prove our case and to prove what we are doing. We have all the documents, and this lobbyist is aware of that. This lobbyist is aware that the United States of Biafra used to be Biafra Republic government in exile, and our Prime Minister hired him to work for the government. He is fully aware of that. He is fully aware that the Constitution of the United States of Biafra, my signature is there. And this individual he's promoting online, he has no signature in the Constitution of the United States of Biafra. This lobbyist knows that the declaration of the independent state of Biafra, which happened in Finland, has the signature and the name of only two individuals, myself and the Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. This lobbyist has those documents, but he went on Twitter to misinform people that there was a CRC that a dissolved CRC that meant to appoint somebody. This is very, very dangerous. This lobbyist knows the Biafra currency, my signature is there. And this individual deceiving Biafrans, his signature is nowhere in all these documents I am listing. So assuming you as a lobbyist, you want to present Biafra legally to a foreign nation, to a foreign country, which documents are you going to use? Who are you going to call? Whose signatures are there? If you think you don't know, let's presume you are a 17-year-old child, you don't know. But you went on Twitter to post the rubbish you posted. The Biafra Helsinki Charter last year, my signature is there. This misinformation you pass on in Twitter, you know that individual, his signature is nowhere. Our Ambazonia Biafra, a memorandum of understanding we signed last year, my signature is there. Other members here, few people here, their signature is also in that document. The individual, this lobbyist, you think you are promoting, you've already gone down with him. He has dragged you down. And so shall it be. Anybody that truly is a Biafran that follows this individual, you will go down with him. That is a promise I'm giving you. Thank you so much. Ugo, go ahead.
You have heard it, and that is a direct statement. It is left for you to make your choice where you belong and what is going to be your fate. After saying this, I want us to hear another conversation from Biafrans. Discussions from Biafrans on the issue at hand. I want you to pay attention and watch closely as we go. Please like and share as you join us. Like and share to other people so they can join us. Going to present themselves. How are they going? Are they going to seek for recognition for Brigi or recognition for the United States of Biafra? Mazi Simon Ekpa made it clear what we are going to do and what this year is going to be all about. But some people have chosen to go on a different path. My fellow Biafrans, the battle and the responsibility lies on you, on me. It is not about Mazi Nandekano, not about Mazi Simon, not about Dr. Ngozi Oroboeze. It is about you. Our collective interest, that is what we must pursue and make sure we achieve it. You're welcome, my beloved brother Maxwell. I can see you there. Thank you for joining me, my beloved brother Max, and I wish you a very warm and happy new year. You're welcome into the year 2025. Go ahead and speak to Biafrans, my beloved brother Maxwell.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Namoche, great son of Biafra land. May Chukwu Kikwe continue to bless you. And a happy new year to you. My elder brother, my Indisibote Namoche in the studio also. I cannot see your name. It's not clear to me here.
Okafor.
I say, may God continue to bless you. Mazi Okafor, may Chukwu Kikwe continue to bless you. Give you more wisdom as you grow in grace, so that we will listen to you and learn from you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And may God, thank you, sir. May God continue to bless all the people of United States of Biafra. I am so glad, although I was in agony, but my God, the God that led me throughout and saved me from 5 different wars that I fought, has not left me and has not left the Biafran people, my mother's ancestral land, and the land of Biafra. And he is not ready to leave us, no matter how bad we are. Our Chukwu Okike Abiama, if actually he hates us, his children, he would have allowed the enemy to swallow us even before 1967 to 1970. We could have all gone, but he had a reason for keeping us alive. There is a reason for which he kept us alive. And that reason today is why all of us are here. We are fighting for the freedom of that great land, Biafra, that has been under occupation since the imperialists entered into it. Even when they were living, they handed us over to the people who were indirectly ruling us. They were still ruling us indirectly through them. Today, our people have come out to say no to the imperialist system and the indirect rule that had never been of help or of any benefit to our people. Rather, death, misery, blood, raping, and the rest of them. Squandering of the enormous resources God has placed under the soil of the Biafran people that we are not benefiting from. Instead of us eating from the table, they have made us with their cohorts around us to eat the crumbs. Even we are struggling to have the crumbs as well. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came out to say no to it. They captured him. The interests of the evil people, including those within us, made them to capture him. Another son came out, who is the prime minister. Yet, they are trying to do the same hanky-panky game on him. They will fail, because I have heard severally from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that the war, what we are going through, what we are fighting is spiritual. If it is spiritual, the hands of God, Akachukwu Dinia, and we will prevail upon the enemies that have surrounded us. I use this opportunity to congratulate every one of you, those in the camp of DPM TOS. I say, more grace to your able. We have a greater task ahead of us. The recognition, the fight for the recognition, total recognition of Biafra, United States of Biafra, is what is at hand right now. We must do something. We must support that great daughter of Biafra land to fight on. She is just a woman. She needs support. She needs support of the great men and other women, strong women that are surrounding him. I mean, those of them that have taken a different path, I wish them well in everything that they are going to do. I am not going to castigate them. I wish them well. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to bless them. And if what they are doing is right in their sight, may they receive the reward. If it is evil, may they also receive the reward. I am your Okene, and I will remain loyal to the COS, who is a great daughter of Biafra land. And I urge every one of you to do well to support her in cash and in kind, so that Biafra will be a reality for us. Thank you so much for having me. I will be here to listen to you and the admonitions that are going to come from there. And those in the comment section, great daughters in the comment section, I salute every one of you. I say, may God also do the same good thing that he has done for me to every one of you. May you live, and let us be the last set of generation that is going to struggle for the restoration of Biafra. I thank you all for listening to my rubbish. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama bless every one of you. Thank you for having me. I'm still here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my beloved brother Max. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that wonderful New Year message. It's appreciation. Thank you. And every Biafran here, they always appreciate you. Each time we see you, we're always happy, because we know the contribution you have been making from the one up to this minute is not easy. Some people who are even in that Biafra, some of them don't even have the boldness to represent Biafra. Some of them are not even bold to show their faces. Some are hiding under the keyboard. Even up to now, some people are still shy to identify themselves as Biafrans, because some of them, they don't want to lose their friend. They don't want to lose a business. They don't want to lose a contract. They refuse to identify themselves with Biafra. It's sad, but it is the truth. Just like sometimes when we talk about, when we focus our attentions on talking about Nigerian government and the Janjaweed, the Hausas, and the Oduduwa people, sometimes when you talk about this, you look back and you realize that the main people that are causing obstacles, hindrances, and setback are Biafrans. You know, sometimes we seem to forget. When you look, the people who are giving us tough time, the critical tough time, are Biafrans. These Hausa people, these Fulanis and the Yorubas, they are not doing much. They only talk and they go back to sleep. And their own issue is even very easy to handle. We know they are pushing the agenda of their colonial master, the British. We know very well what they are pushing. But where we are having the major challenge is those people inside. Those enemies in the house. They are where the major people that are giving a tough time are Biafrans, more especially the Igbo Biafrans. And they are at the same time, they are the more active. They are the most active in this struggle. They are the most active, and when you come to distraction, they are the major distraction is coming from them. You come in sponsorship, they are the major sponsorship, and yet they are the major saboteurs. It is a fact. That is why you must choose for yourself where you belong. For me, I have chosen this day to continue to follow the United States of Biafra under the structure laid down all the way from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to Mazen Simon Ekpa, and today under Dr. Ngozi Orebowese. My support is not for an individual. My support is not for a person. It doesn't matter the color of your name, how rich or how poor you are, whether male or female. My support is for the United States of Biafra government that has a solid foundation. That people that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu told you that they are indestructible, unbribable. That is where my support lies. Mazen Simon Ekpa went ahead to tell you that nothing will make you, that if you want to sabotage, go ahead, you will not succeed. That is where I stand. And today, Dr. Ngozi Orebowese is sitting on that same platform, in that same office, defending the same office. That is why I stand beside her, and I will continue to be there. If anything happens tomorrow and someone else come and stand on that same mandate of the United States, I will be there. It is not about the name. It's not about that name. It's not about the name you are hearing. It is about the United States of Biafra, yes, which is what every one of us should protect. Collective interest to defend and protect it. That is why I always say, let us remove our mind and heart from people's name, building strong men and women. More especially our Igbo people, we are fond of that. We are very fond of that. This, that. By the time you give him those big names, you give her those big names, the name will begin to swell. They begin to feel like God. Mm-hmm. But if we focus our attention on building the institution, when you build that institution, whoever comes into it, even if it is a child of 8 years old, once that child comes into it, that child will become a powerful instrument, supported by everyone of us. It is not about the name, it is about the office, that office. Even if it is a poor, wretched person, as long as the person has passed through the process and get qualified to get into that office, every one of us to support the person. Whether the person is Igbo, whether the person is Efik, whether the person is a job, whether the person is a man, whether it's a woman, whether it is a Ibibio, whether it's a banker, as long as the person is part of that process and enter into that office that is protecting every one of us, the office of the United States of Biafra, every hand should be on deck to protect that very person. Don't tell me that because the person is a woman, you will not. It doesn't make you are senseless. You forget that you are defending the institution that made you whom you are. And that is the problem some of them have today. Majority of the people today that are fighting. If you remember, start from the time of Mazen Simon Ekpa. Do you know that some people were fighting Mazen Simon Ekpa simply because he came from Ebonyi State? They say, how can the Ebonyi man be in charge? Did you remember? Some people will fight him just because he is from Ebonyi State. They don't want to take instruction. They say, how can Anambra man, Anambra that have all the billionaires, how can Anambra people be here? And somebody from Ebonyi will come and be rude. The same thing in the time of Mazen Nandekano. Some did not support Mazen Nandekano. They say, oh, that's small boy. That small boy. How can that small boy be given order? He's just a small boy.
The small boy from Afaruku.
That small boy from Afaruku. The other one say, I'm even the person that gave his father the chieftaincy title. I'm the person that even given his father money, paid his father. I'm the one that paid for his traditional wedding. Just because of this nonsense, they refuse to support Mazen Nandekano. Not because he's doing the right thing, but because of this nonsense, they refuse.
Envy and jealousy. Envy and jealousy.
In the case of Mazen Nandekano, they say, "Oh, that's man from Abakaleke. How can Abakaleke man be leading Biafra? How can that short man, that Abakaleke man, who knows him? How can somebody from Iboyi State come and become the leader?" And they forget that it is not about the person. It is about the United States of Biafra, our collective interest, the institution. Whoever gets into that and is doing the right thing, we must support and protect. Look at today. The major grievances of the people today is because, oh, it is a woman. How can men be there and the woman will be given authority? How can men be there and the woman will be speaking? And because of that envy and jealousy and greed, they begin to create propaganda. They begin to bring out things that are irrelevant to distract. Go ahead, my brother.
Even these people that are criticizing him simply because she's a woman, they have forgotten that Margaret Thatcher was a woman, although her own leadership was, affecting the Biafran people as well, because she was operating under the instruction of the throne of England. That's number one.
Yeah, she was a powerful woman.
They have forgotten that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was also a woman that saw the first transition to democratic rule to George Weah of Liberia.
Exactly.
They have forgotten the Aba Women's Riot, the organizers of that riot that made women in the whole of that zoo today not to pay tax. Not to pay tax. They were women. They have also forgotten, judging from what the white man said, that the first democracy and self-rule, before they even uphold what they call the affirmative action that gave a government some certain percentages to a woman, to the women folks to be in decision-making bodies and so on. The Biafran people has started it long time ago. That our women, our mothers were placed in leadership roles. Those even before the world knew what they call democracy and leadership. I do not know how these people cannot research and do and see all these things. Today, a woman is there. It was not by coincidence. God knows what he is doing. A woman is there. We've tried men, and they came, they captured them. Now, let this woman be there and give him all the total, unfettered access to every support that you can give to her. Let her work. Instead of backstabbing, instead of giving her some stumbling blocks, becoming some kind of barrier for her to fail. Once I told some group of people that gathered in a particular platform, I said, look, when you are digging a hole for your enemy to fall inside, or your brother, not even your enemy, you are digging a hole for your brother to fall inside, please make it shallow. Nobody knows who is going to fall into it. Because that person that you are digging, that your brother you are digging that hole for, might be innocent too. Exactly. And if you will go fall inside that, because I have seen there is no place, there is no allegation that have leveled against this great daughter of Biafra land that I have seen in her the culpability of it. I've not seen. You said that he is, banking in an Islamic bank. Mazichuk, let me ask. I asked this on Twitter. Is that bank not a private bank? Those of them that live in these Islamic control areas, are you not saving and taking loan from their banks? You see, these are some of the things that people say when you look at. I said, these people have some kind of shallow mind. These are people riddled with shallow brains and so on and so forth. You live in an Islamic world. You are, working and receiving salary there. You are saving in their banks. You are taking from there to support, Biafra. And you are accusing this woman of opening an account. These are private individuals that are doing their businesses on profit basis. Anybody can go there and open an account. I don't see anything wrong in that.
And so many of them are flying Islamic airline, Emirates.
Okay.
They fly Emirates. So when you go, you book Emirates and you fly their flight. Now that you have used that service. Using that service now has now made you a Muslim, right?
You see, some of them accuse him of talking to politicians. My brothers and sisters that are here today, one way or the other, once in our lives, we supported Nigeria.
Of course, we did.
We partook in everything about Nigeria. It is the wickedness. God made these people to unleash wickedness on our people, because if we were going to be there, look, I always make references to what God did to the Jews that were scattered right across the world. Even if they were hybrid Jews or not, there are Orthodox Jews that were also victims of that intimidation and destruction that happened to them. All over the world where they were living, they were making money, and you know them by the wealth they have. If you go and Google today, the Jews, not that it is just one person among them, majority of them in 300 and something or even more are billionaires. Their wealth is spread across them. Go and check. I was surprised the day I was looking at the figures that I found. They were rich. Wherever they were doing well. What happened? God said, no, if I allow these people to remain here, they will forget their land and their land will go. God released Adolf Hitler to tell them that, yes, you have a place that is your own, that I gave your forefathers in those days, whether they are hybrid or not. There is a place for you. They forgot about the hamburger they were eating. They forgot about all their riches and the houses. I think there was a time when Mazen Namdekani showed a mansion that was built by a Jew that is in abandon right now.
Absolutely.
They abandoned it. They went back. They said, no, we cannot continue with this kind of suffering anymore. We are going home. And they left. Today, you can't touch them. Touch them and you will be sting. Touch them and you will be sting. They are now controlling their place. They determines what happened. No terrorists will attempt. If you dare them, they will unleash venoms, multiples of them in higher doses on you. All of us, all our people will scatter. They use economic jihad to scatter all the Biafran people all over the world. Wherever they go to, they are making names. What is the difference between you and the Jews that suffered Holocaust in the hands of Adolf Hitler? What is the difference between you? Are you being loved where you are? Despite that you are working and you are earning money, taking care of yourself, your family, are you being loved? In the zoo again, where they are using indirectly to deal with us, are we being loved? No. Why are you, after seeing all these things, you keep validating that entity that is seeking to destroy every one of you and whatever that you represent? Are you not aware? In order to erase the history of Biafra, they removed the bite of Biafra and call it the bite of Bonny. Go and check in your new map of Nigeria today whether you will see anything like a bite of Biafra. Instead, what you see there is bite of body. They try to erase everything from you. They try to remove anything so that you will never have a history. And you keep on validating it. And you allow them to use you to destroy what you are fighting. You will never succeed. Biafra will come. Even if every one of us refuse to fight for Biafra, as long as it's spiritual, God, Chukwukike Abiama, Eurade Nyankopon, Abasembong, Ogene will raise stones to free the land he called his own. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother. I appreciate you for that amazing word. When we talk about the issue of Biafra, Biafra is not is a spiritual movement that even those who claim to be one Nigerianists, they know that they can't stop Biafra. Even these politicians, when they speak certain times, you see that the Biafra in them doesn't hide. In as much as sometimes you see some people, some spirit will possess some people and they will try to suppress it and oppress it. This spirit of Biafra is in everybody from the old Southeastern region, whether you are a politician or non-politician. Only that some people are suppressing their own. There are some of us that are suppressing the spirit of Biafra in them. But at every given point in time, you will see that spirit speak. That is why sometimes you see them make confession that you'll be wondering, is it this man that said this thing? And there's a video I'm going to play. Let us just listen to this video. It's an old video, and let's just listen to it, and then we can now speak on the issue.
So you reckon that if Ojukwu were alive today,
yes,
he will be saying to Nnamdi Kanu, that's not the way to go?
Ojukwu may not say so to Nnamdi Kanu for the simple reason that Ojukwu and I believe every right-thinking person should also take into consideration the fact that every citizen, every adult citizen is entitled to his or her own point of view. So that if Nnamdi Kanu believes that Biafra should be a separate country, that is a point of view.
Because that would have been consistent with what Ojukwu believed and did in the late 60s.
The circumstances, I keep referring you to the situation at the time.
Situation changed.
Yes. So when situations change, so people can shift ideologically. So that's the point, that what we're dealing with today is not so much about where Mr. A or Mr. B stands on these issues, but the right and freedom of people to agitate for whatever they want, so long as they do it within the law. So it's not a question of where do I stand. Basically, it's a matter of what rights are we entitled to as citizens of Nigeria, and how are those rights protected under the law?
So you don't agree?
You see, before they continue, you see that this question they always put forward. Sometimes they make us believe that if Odumegwu Ojukwu was alive today, that he will not support the restoration of Biafra or the call for Biafra to be free. And I don't know where they are getting this narrative from. And I asked them, everyone that is in this very video, everyone that is watching us today, is Nigeria better today than it was in 1967? You see, when they ask this question, I begin to wonder. Some of them begin to create the narrative that, oh, if Ojukwu was here, Ojukwu will not support Biafra, will not support Biafra going out of Nigeria, and that he will support one Nigeria. And I ask them, is Nigeria better today than it was in 1967? Go ahead, my brother Mas.
You see, these people, these are journalists and those that are working for those that are benefiting for the corrupt entity called Nigeria. You don't expect them to say otherwise, my brother. This same question is resonating in the ears of all those people who are benefiting from that corrupt entity.
Exactly.
I heard Ojukwu, some people have been on space arguing with some people when they said Ojukwu abandoned Biafra. He said they should not. that he washed his hands off Biafra. But what they refuse to tell you is when Ojukwu, I do not know the program that was going on in a podium, in a platform, where multitudes, gatherings were there. Ojukwu was shouting, let my people go.
Yeah.
Ojukwu had in his normal, you know the way he normally dresses, that is normal. I don't know how I'm going to call it, the captain, is it captain style or whatever, you know, like the jacket, something. He was interviewed. Ojukwu said, I will fight again. If those things that I fought for happens again, I will go to war. Ojukwu said that. Ojukwu said that. There is a video like that. I will dig it, I will search for it, and I will get it. I will bring it to you. He said, if those things that happened before that led to the war continues again, I will go to war.
Exactly.
And he did not miss word. I heard him clearly. I was not drunk when I was listening to him. Okay? So these are things when people come out and say, oh, Ojukwu did not, like the London boy. London boy will come and tell you Biafra died, 50-something years ago. 50-something years ago. And that was not the spirit that led Ojukwu. And the same spirit that led Ojukwu till the day he was lowered into the grave is the same spirit that has occupied my own heart. And I am going to do everything to support my people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. When they push these lies, I don't know how they manage to have the confidence to spill those lies. Let's hear more of their questions.
With the way Nnamdi Kanu is playing the politics of Biafra today, but you believe he has a right to his position, to hold his position. Is that correct?
That's the point I'm making, that he has the right to hold his views and to agitate for separation. Then I have the right to say, well, I think I need to look at this differently. It is what we need to do is to ensure at all times that we uphold individual rights and freedoms. That's the bottom line.
Okay. Now, this is relevant to this conversation. You said in page 197. Let me read what you wrote here. President Buhari has his own issues with the Igbo. He becomes irritated when confronted with issues relating to Igbo marginalization or Biafra. I also have to read that immediately after that you did say that Buhari has a certain authenticity that can help to achieve genuine national reconciliation if he so desires. You then wrote after, in page 108, you said, a significant number of the Igbo diaspora do not believe that Nigeria is redeemable. They believe in Biafra and are funding the process that could lead to its realization. I believe that Nigeria is redeemable if we fight for its liberation from the clutches of agents of centralization.
Yes.
Okay, stay with me, sir. I was just curious. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you now wrote in page 200, one of the reasons Obasanjo becomes very irritated over the current Biafra agitation, aside of the Civil War victor mentality, is that he knows very well that it sprouted on his watch. Okay, so you said Buhari gets agitated when it comes to the issue of Igbo. You said Obasanjo gets agitated when it comes to the issue of Biafra. Do you believe that Buhari and Obasanjo are agents of centralization? Is that your take on those leaders, that they push for a strong central government? Agents of centralization.
Yeah, agents of centralization. basically people who, by their training, military officers who get into government and they only understand command and control. And then their own idea, of Nigeria is a Nigeria that is controlled from the center, from Abuja. Okay. Now, that is the problem. Obasanjo, General Obasanjo, General Buhari, General Babangida, all the generals, who have, one time or the other been in office in Nigeria, they all belong to that school of thought. They are basically, they believe in centralization as a policy.
That's what you meant by agents of centralization.
Now, the point is this. Nigeria was founded, the way Nigeria was founded, the whole idea was to create a federal state. That was the vision of the founding fathers who laid the foundation for Nigeria. Now, the military guys, came in from Gowon, in Aguiyi-Ironsi, Gowon, the military, forget about their ethnic background. Okay? Now, so it is the inability of the military class to interpret their own vision, which is clearly a unitary vision. They have been unable to interpret it to Nigerians. That failure is, basically at the root of the confusion and crisis we face as a country. Yes, so that is it. So my thesis is clear. So if we rescue Nigeria from the grip of these agents of centralization.
You see, this is my brother Fodile. I said some people, when they go to this school, they read and read and read until maybe sometimes when they are lazy, they don't have any book to write. They will put on something and write. This is my brother Fodile. I don't know where he's getting all this his narrative. They are all wrong. Even these people he's calling their founding fathers and their reasons of founding Nigeria are all wrong. These are all lies. These are all lies. Go ahead, my brother Maxwell.
See, let me tell you, with all due respect to my senior elder that is here and you, and those that are watching us, those in the comment section, I beg to differ with this, intellectual. I beg to differ. You see, the reason why everybody is doubting of, even Aguiyi-Ironsi made mistakes. Remember, if you come in, please mute. You see, Mazu Chooks, remember the modus, the reason why Nigeria was created. Nigeria was an enterprise.
I don't know where he's getting his own narrative from. I can't understand.
Nigeria was an enterprise managed by Goldie. That man they call Goldie. I've forgotten the other, initials. Goldie. And it was administered by Lugard. It was Lugard that for easy administration and control, that is the way it started. Not the training of the soldiers. For easy administration and control, Lord Lugard amalgamated Northern and Southern Protectorate.
That is the truth.
So that it will be easier for him to handle that enterprise. And when they made so much profit from that enterprise, the United Kingdom came, their own people, and they bought it from him. Just like Elon Musk bought Twitter and named it X for control. So that was the foundation. The United Kingdom has never left that control easy administration. And today they are doing it by proxy. I don't know where this, my, intellectuals this is the reason why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu called them the other opposite of it, where they, I don't want to disrespect him. This is the reason where it is not the army, and I was also trained just like them. In fact, I was exposed to foreign training, about 3 or 4 of them, 3 solid years, 1 year per each. I was also trained. What am I doing today? Who is it that will see the intimidations and the economic jihad, the marginalization, the lack of federal government presence in Biafra land, the intimidation of our people, the dehumanizing nature of our people, and you still say that it is centralization? Centralization is what? Centralization is what you perceive and you see it. Oh, let them agree that this thing will be here. But this is an orchestrated plan by these people to control you, because you have enormous. Immediately they discovered there is enormous resources, oil and gas in that particular area. They say we will let go. Anybody that comes out to challenge that centralization that Goldie and Lugard put in place, the buyers, the letter buyers, will never like you. That is the reason why they did to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu what they did to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, despite that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is their citizen. They overlooked the citizenship of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They sold him. They refused to attend to his cause. They refused to do it. Even a terrorist that was spying for them in Syria and Iran and many other places, they went for that person to represent those people. Go, you will see them there. Is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist? Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is an agitator that is fighting against injustices that is meted out on his people. That is what he's fighting. And if you are going to jail Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, be ready to jail me too, because I share in that ideology. His ideology is not expansionism. It's not expansionism. It's to control and let peace and the people of his land to enjoy the reason why God has placed them on those places. It's not to kill anybody. It is not to punish anybody, but to allow the right thing, the right principles of God to humanity to be observed. And when that central government, that centralized government, criminal centralized government is not doing it, the people has the right. The people have the right to say no. That is the power of choice and right for to self-determination. It's not a crime. If it is a crime, then Finland should not leave the old Soviet Union or the Baltics. If it was a crime, then the United States should have been under the occupation of the Queen and the throne of England. Why are you people supporting evil? Why are you people supporting those that are fighting for the freedom of their own people that you also fought for in the past? If you continue to support them, God Almighty that created the land that we live on today will deal with one of you one after the other, because you are selling your economic interest against the life that God has created. That's my position. Thank you. Mans.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother. You have spoken well. When they come with this, their narrative, I don't know where they're getting it from. Each time they just start the story from the middle and they will not start from the beginning. You are dealing with the problem of Nigeria and whatever you call it, and you just start from your founding fathers and whatever, forgetting the root of the problem. The problem was created by the British. from the origin. And their intention was not to create a country. They created a company, not a country. The division you see today is foundational. They planted the division intentionally by themselves. By rigging the very first election that was conducted in Nigeria to make it a country, they rigged it. The British rigged it in favor of their own favorite child, the Janjaweed. So, but when these people come, because they are in the zoo, they are afraid of starting from the beginning. They will just copy it from where they feel it's going to favor them, and they begin to tell the story. Look at my brother, Professor like Trudy of Fordale, that I know very well, speaking in such a, writing such a beautiful book, and he started from a very wrong note. It's so sad. And that is why they were able to bring him in their own studio, because they know that what he wrote is not the truth. Go ahead.
I am sorry to interject because I can't hold it. You see, this narrative these people are painting and creating to the world to see is the same thing that happened in the first coup of January 1966.
Exactly.
The one they christened the Igbo coup. When it suits them, they laugh. But they refuse to say it as it is. In the military as a whole, let's say armed forces. When you talk of the armed forces, you are talking of the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army. 3 of them form the armed forces. The rest are paramilitary. That is how we categorize them. Those young soldiers, who were the young soldiers? Those were the young soldiers from the Nigerian army. The Nigerian army, not the Igbo army, not the Biafran army, the Nigerian army.
Nigerian young military men conducted a revolution and they targeted Igbo coup.
Exactly. Now, the question is this. After that coup, the subsequent coups, did they christen them Hausa, Fulani, Yoruba, Chief coup? That is the reason why God will never, they will never see no peace. You target Igbo coup, you use it as a yardstick, as an SVP, special, is it a SV, special, what they call it, is it a purpose vehicle, SPV. You use it as an SPV to senselessly buy over 3-point-something million people, not just through barrels of bullets or bombs, but through starvation. But when other coups happen, you could not summon the same courage to say, hey, this one is Northern or Hausa Fulani coup. Or this one, the coup that brought Obasanjo, I think in 1970, is it 1976 or so? He didn't call it Yoruba coup. Babangida, didn't call it.
I played a video. If you were on the program yesterday, I played a video yesterday where in Okuta panel, where such question came up. That question came up in Okuta panel, where somebody was asked, you call this Igbo coup. Why don't you name other coup that we are going that after some ethnic group? And the man was saying, no, he cannot.
They will not answer. And do you know that is the reason why God will continue to deal with them until their mouth kisses the dust? I have never seen that level of injustice before. The injustices that is going on against the Biafran people in that Nigeria, I have never witnessed again, even in the Tibetans. I have not seen. I have not seen.
Thank you so much, my brother Maxwell. Let us allow Marshall to take up the mic. My brother Marshall, you're welcome. Sorry for keeping you that long. Go ahead and speak to us.
Not a problem. Maxwell, let's hear it.
They wouldn't have. I'm fine.
Brother Chooks, anyway, let me say one thing. You see, there is when I sit back and listen to these people and see what they pen down as he called it thesis, and then he comes to a national television and be telling us, you could see his body language when he's talking.
Yeah.
And he's telling us Obasanjo is agitated because Biafra agitation started during his time. This man is a fool. Biafra agitation did not start during the time of Obasanjo. It started in 1967. You understand? Obasanjo has nothing to do with it. Now, I just want to make that very, very clear. Now, you see, and listen to him, and he's saying, oh, the problem is because these people cannot explain the method of centralization of government. And I was just looking at this man. Is this man normal? Is this man, they cannot explain it to Nigerians. And he's talking from two sides of his mouth. And then let me put it forward. I'm sure that this man was born with maybe a silver or golden spoon in his mouth. I'm sure. When you listen to Cuba, it says it's Cuba or Fodile. Or something like that. Cuba or Fodile.
With golden spoon.
From the Justice of Fodile's family, I presuppose.
You know him. You know him very well.
So you see, some of these people, it's like when they've been enjoying all through their lives the privileges that comes with position and power. They now come, their thinking is warped. Look at this man telling us that, oh, okay, that the problem is centralization. That is not the problem. Now, let me go back. If the problem is centralization in the first place, let us begin to analyze these things. If the problem is centralization, why did Gowon not accept the Aburi Accord?
Thank you.
Now, that is one question. The second question is this. What was the main purpose? Who advised Gowon not to accept Aburi Accord? You see, sometimes we leave the main issue and we are talking about, let's say, talking about peripheral things that do not matter.
What Nigerian is, that's what they do.
You understand what I'm saying? Go back to 1945. The killing of the Igbos that started as even pre-independence, before independence.
Yes.
Has it anything to do with centralization?
No.
You understand? Sometimes some of these people, when they keep talking nonsense, and I look at them, is it centralization that is the problem of Nigeria? Is it centralization that prevented these people from putting the necessary infrastructure to enable development in Nigeria? Is it centralization that prevented some of these idiots that are ruling from looting and looting and looting? Okay, if it is centralization, they want to concentrate everything in Abuja. Why is Zamfara's gold not under the control of the federal government? You understand? If it is centralization, why didn't they stop Sharia that started during the time of Obasanjo, when he was in power? Why didn't they stop it? Since power belongs to the central, how come they didn't have the power again to quash it, like they quashed the Biafran emergence? Now these people, now when they begin to talk like this, you understand? It boggles my mind.
Cowards.
Now, let's go back. You see, sometimes I wonder how these people reason. You understand? Sometimes I wonder they reason from their anus or they reason with their brains. This is somebody that's supposed to be an intellectual. That's supposed to analyze things, look at facts, look at contents of what is causing the problem. And then when you come with talking with authority, and you're coming here to tell us that it's centralization that is the problem. You understand? Now, he started by saying, oh, that started with federalism. Oh, okay. He started with federalism. Then what happened along the line? Now, when they now change, he said he talked about military. Okay, now, are we in the military regime now?
No.
Huh? We're not in the military regime. Then why is it that everything must come from the center? Every decision must come from the center. Why is it that they are preventing everything attempts to have state police? Why is it that everything that brings innovation and change, they are against it? They don't want to hear it. Yes, if it comes to innovation, they remove it. They don't want to hear it. You understand? Look at the people. Look at the people. It is only in Nigeria. Let me tell you. Go all over the whole world. Before you emerge, let me say this now. Before you will emerge as a ruler of any nation, you must be an erudite scholar. You must be sound. Yes. You must have economic knowledge. You must have political knowledge. You must have world affairs knowledge.
Definitely.
Eh? It is only in Nigeria that you bring fools to be ruling professors. Professors like this guy now that is writing this thing. You understand? Check it from time. It started right from time. Okay, in 1979, a teacher was the president. A teacher, primary school teacher, was the president. Who was deputizing him? Dr. L.S. Ekweme. Fast forward again. Fast forward again. Buhari, that didn't even finish primary school. And then a professor in law, deputizing him. That is the problem we're having. Now, this one that is ruling you now, we don't even know whether he even finished secondary school or primary school.
No identity, no record. We don't even know his age. We don't even know his nationality.
He's coming to talk nonsense. When you have people, idiots ruling you, when you have fools ruling you, what you will get is this kind of output. Let me say this. You understand? People who cannot stand and articulate their thinking is my problem. When I now look at these people that call them, in fact, the main fact is that this guy is an Igbo man.
An Igbo man, true, the
so the suffering of his people, the killing of his people, the policing of his land, the annihilation of his people, he's attributing it to not being able to educate Nigerians about centralization. I wonder, what is wrong with our people? What is wrong with us? What is wrong with these so-called intellectuals? Now, let us go back. If you do not know the root of the problem, you cannot solve a problem.
You can't solve it.
The root of the problem is British. British people wanted this situation. Remember, they wanted this situation, this travesty to remain. They planted this travesty. Remember, they were the people that negated the norm all over the whole world by saying that as you go towards the desert, the population increases. It is only in Nigeria.
Only in Nigeria.
Only in Nigeria. And they did that because they wanted the northerners to remain in power, the people they can control.
And I have a video of evidence. After you speak, I'll play the video. They will see where
exactly.
A British man was
you see, our people need to go and do their research. Yeah. Do you understand? And now let me go back. Maxwell, my brother, you will agree with me. This is what I'm saying. Why is it that when Professor Nwosu brought the option A4, option 4, I don't know what they call it. Yes.
Option A4.
A type of election. Yeah. Option A4. Where you need to come physically. All of a sudden, Kano, that they registered 4 million people, only 500 people voted. 500,000, sorry. 500,000. I was then in Lagos. They were saying that Kano is more popular than Lagos. That year, Lagos posted 1.7 million, 1 point something million people votes. Because these people keep lying through their mouth. They keep deceiving Nigerians.
False figures.
Now, you understand? You see, the British people, they are the people that started it. They are the people that started this falsification of population, falsification of everything, every criminality. The British people started it in Nigeria. They don't want to talk about that. I bet you the North is not more populous than the South. It is only in Nigeria that you base the allocation of funds based on landmass instead of population. All over the world. All over the world. Go all over the world and check. New York City is more populous than, what do you call it? Let me give you an instance now. A state that is called Utah. Yet Utah is landmass is bigger than almost twice than New York. But the allocation of funds to New York cannot be compared to the allocation, because in Utah you might get maybe less than let's say 5 million people, but in New York there are over 20 million to 25 million people. I'm not too sure, but I'm just giving you instances. But yes, in Nigeria, go to the south, you realize that a lot of population density. Have you ever watched in Lagos?
In everywhere, in every village, that density is in every village in the south.
Yes, these people started it, and then the people that are there keep saying, doing these things. And let me give you an instance. Have you asked yourself why a British citizen in the name of Nnamdi Kanu for the past 5 years is languishing in a dungeon in Nigeria, and Britain is not doing anything, not lifting a finger? Huh?
Oil and gas.
There is,
Oil and gas.
yes. Listen, in Canada, there's a man from the Middle East that was incarcerated in Guantanamo Bay by American because they said he visited either Iraq or something, or Afghanistan during that time.
Yeah.
Canada fought and fought and fought until the man was released by America. When this man came back to Canada, they paid this man, Canadian government paid him. It wasn't Canada that incarcerated him. They paid him $10 million as compensation.
You see?
Because this man is a citizen of Canada. They fought for their citizen. They fought for him. Why is it that Britain is not fighting for Nnamdi Kanu, that's a citizen of their nation?
They don't care. Because
you understand? The problem is Britain. Britain wants the status quo to remain. You understand? That is the problem. And this man that calls himself a professor is there telling us that it is centralization that is causing the problem. I don't understand this man.
Very funny.
You understand? If it is centralization now, why have you seen a citizen that is, have you seen a country that is encouraging the military to be killing its own people, killing its own citizens? Is that a problem of centralization too?
Ask him.
Huh? Have you seen a country that will open up their borders? Outsiders, people that are not citizens of the country will come. They have authority in a country that is Nigeria more than citizens. And they kill them and get away with it.
Take over their land and rename their land, and they rename the place, and they remain there and live there. Why the owners of the land will go to the IDP camp?
Brother Chicks, this man, you see, there are certain people that you will listen to. They will spoil your day. They will make you angry the more. These are the kind of things. You want to listen to these people. I say, where are these people from? Are they from the moon? Huh? These people call themselves. Are they nationalists? Are they truly Igbos? Do they listen at all?
Master, sorry. I tell me what people put on. Sorry to interject.
Go ahead, my brother.
The spirit of Azikiwe is in these people. The spirit of Azikiwe has not left this kind of people in Biafra land. If you remember the role, look, if you remember the role Nnamdi Azikiwe played against our eternal leader Ojukwu, you are too old for me to even lecture you on that. If you go to a place, in fact, Nnamdi Azikiwe was a railway police officer in Ghana, in a place they call, in a region they call Western region, Takrady. We call it Tadi here. He was a railway police officer here. He was adequately taken care of while he was serving here. In fact, I think the pilot, the newspaper he had at that time, is it the pilot? If I'm not mistaken, was first established in Ghana here before he took it to Nigeria also. This same man, that same evil and jealousy, envious spirit that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spoke about, that our people possess, is the same spirit that is in this one. If you remember, I would never forget, because if Nnamdi Azikiwe played the role of an elder statesman, the voice of Africa, as at that time, the world knew him. Ojukwu probably wouldn't have failed. These people wouldn't have captured us. He is supposed to be shuttling from countries to country because he was a known personality as at that time. The Zeke of Africa. The Zeke of Africa. Even coming, using his personality, coming to Ghana here to lobby. Ghana will support. But what did he do? In order not to erase the first ceremonial president of the zoo, he stood against his own brother and called him a rebel leader. A rebel leader. He was the first when other African countries like Tanzania, like Equatorial Guinea, like Ivory Coast, and other were calling Ojukwu the president of the Biafran people. His own brother was calling him a rebel. Go and read what he wrote on one of the national dailies in Nigeria, warning France not to support the rebels. Who are the rebels? Biafran soldiers. Till the day I would die, till the day I would die, and I will sow this seed in the head of my daughter and the children that God is going to give me later on. What that elder statesman did to his own people. They were the contributors of what we are suffering today. You and I, you by now supposed to be enjoying the good dividends of democracy, peace, harmony, and enjoyment of whatever God has given to you on your land. Not to be outside fighting, not to be engaging in this fight today to restore my mother's ancestral nation. That is the problem. Our people. There is no difference from what this Judy Ofidele Ofodile is saying here. They won't know.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother. Marshall, before you continue, Marshall, let us listen to this man. This man that I'm about to play his video is one of the men that was an active participator in during the time of the colonialists. He's a British man. In this video, you will hear him making confession of how they rigged the election, how British rigged the election to favor the North, how the British said that they are scared of the South, more especially people from that our side. They are scared of them. That was why they intentionally rigged everything to their side. Just to support what our brother Marshall was saying. You know, sometimes when we come out and we say this on social media, people think that because we are speaking on social media, that we don't know what we are talking about. That is why sometimes we bring evidence on video to show them. He's a British man confessing. Let us listen to him before our brother Marshall will continue.
As they're meant to be, Nigeria was being described as the showcase of democracy, and it was expected that the nationalist leaders would win through. But actually, when the election results were announced by the Governor-General, before the vote was even in, he didn't vote, didn't count for that, he didn't wait for that. I have to tell you, the British were counting the votes, and the British cannot be trusted. They look after their friends. Loyalty is the big thing for the British. and we were friends with the emirs of the north. We looked on people like Inaharo and Awolowo as rather dangerous people. They might even be communists. That's ridiculous, actually. They couldn't be communists in 1,000 years. But this was a sort of thing that was being said. And we were, Europeans, were getting a bit worried about all this. It wasn't quite the honest, straightforward election that we were hoping for.
Apart from Professor Anderson and Dr. Patrick Wilmot that supported your submission on the rigged election, there were other people who also served in the colonial office in your days. I mean, who opposed to this submission?
Initially, I was warned of what was going on by my senior officer, a Major Bunker. I didn't know, and I knew that the Governor-General had directed me to take all the office staff of the Ministry of Labour to help Chief Okoti Igbo in politicking in Warri. And this was most irregular, and I refused to do this. Having refused an order, I know what the drill is. You resign. I resign my post. That is the proper thing to do. What they did then was rather devious. They persuaded me to withdraw my resignation, and when I did, they sacked me. It didn't go through, but I thought this was a bit low after I'd resigned and was prepared to leave the country. This was not very nice behaviour. They later withdrew this and said that I had been of some service to the state, and actually commended me for what I had done, and said I could leave Nigeria with splendid testimonials, and we shook hands on this. And this was done with the recognition of the Deputy Governor-General, Sir Ralph Grey. And then I left Nigeria the first time and took up a job as a personnel officer, a very big job, with the Esso refinery. And then government came after me, declared that I was a traitor, and I had betrayed the British people, ought to be imprisoned, and I lost that job. And then they came to me again and said it's all been a big mistake, dreadful mistake. I'm a jolly decent chap, you know, Oxford chap, and they put me on a plane straight back to Nigeria, where I'd make up for the time I'd been away. There was a great deal of good work for me to do, and we fell for this. We shouldn't have gone back, but we did.
Now, if you recall what you said about the role of the Governor-General and the attitude of the British government in particular, regarding the fear that Awolowo, Okoti Igbo, and the lot of them from the south are dangerous. Is there a particular reason? Why the fear from the British government? Is it that they don't want to release or relinquish Nigeria? They still want to control Nigeria?
They knew that the North would do as they said after independence. If it had any, the North would just, because it was their habit, they liked the British, whereas the nationalists were an unknown factor. Actually, when they took the flag down and hoisted the Nigerian flag, not one of the major nationalist politicians was there.
Just imagine.
They weren't even on the platform. This was incredible. These were the people who had sought independence. The people in the North didn't want independence. They didn't want the British to leave. So this was a farce. And for most Europeans who were very close on watching this, we were disgusted. We thought this really had been manipulated, this election. It was unworthy. It was unworthy of the British people, this. This was no honest, straightforward thing that you would expect Britain, the mother of parliaments, to do. This was cheap and low and criminal. And I opposed it. And I opposed it then, and I've opposed it ever since. And I'm telling you the truth. And I was warned, if I told you this, this state secret, my life could be forfeit.
Earlier on, you said the British government wanted the North in alliance with.
I think we stop it here. It's a very long video. Maybe time to time we'll begin to play it again and again. Just to support what our beloved brother Marshall was saying. If you had listened closely when this man was speaking, you will see him make some striking confessions. He first of all mentioned about releasing a result of election, even when the election has not been held. The British release the results. This thing you see that is happening today. You'll be surprised why when they rig election in Nigeria, they choose somebody and they will still support that person. And you'll be surprised. How could they be supporting somebody who they know he rigged the election? They laid that foundation. The British laid that foundation.
Brother Chicks,
Go ahead, Marshall.
You see, you need to cut this and send to that Efulefu. Cut the video and send to him. You understand? Because sometimes, you understand, we have what we call educated illiterates. That's what I call this sort of people. Educated illiterates. They don't read, like Mazinal can say, they don't research. You understand? Somebody like me, I read a lot because you see, leaders are leaders. You see, when you read, you are informed. You don't talk nonsense.
Yes.
You understand? So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Look at it now. This is a British man talking about the awful thing that the British people did. This is the foundation of a nation that was given birth to in 1960. Bettered upon fraud and corruption, upon deceit. And how can, you see, the Bible says, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? The foundation of Nigeria was laid upon corruption, upon deceit, upon falsehood. You understand? And this man is coming to tell us that the problem is decentralization. You see, when people talk like this, it makes me go gaga. You understand? Now, this is an evidence to prove us right now that this is not the problem. The problem started even before 1960. You understand? Now, Nigeria is a situation where strange bedfellows are lying on the same bed. Strange bedfellows. Mazin Nandekanu talked about it in so many ways that there is no way, culturally, politically, the way we reason, the way we behave, it is in complete variance with the Northerners. There is no way you can compare both of us. You understand? We are forward-thinking people. Then again, I want to equally say something here. You understand, Brother Chicks? Yeah. We've condoned over a long period of time treachery. Look at the British people. Look at how they do it. We've condoned treachery and betrayal in Igbo land, in Biafra land for a long, long time. Yeah. I keep saying it. We need to begin to deal with this kind of idiocy. Let me quote Martin Namdekan. This kind of idiocy. It is high time we started dealing with this kind of idiocy. Because some people come here and they want to now come and set us back. My brother Maswell said it all. You understand? Envy. When you say, if it is not me, it cannot be any other person. You understand? That is the problem. And I keep saying it. If you are not a good follower, you cannot be a good leader.
You cannot be a good leader.
You need to learn how to follow. And you see, that's why, and I don't like quoting Bible too much. That's why my hero in the Bible is Joshua. Joshua will follow. When others will go, he will be there, obediently following. When the time came, there was no iota of doubt. Even the creator of heaven and earth knew that he is not prepared to take over the leadership. But our people, they keep treacherous mindset. They will undermine you. They will underpin you. They will destroy you. They will make sure that this is one thing. And when I see it, You see this thing that has been happening since, Brother Chus. I will use this opportunity to thank you people. You understand? Your ability to see the difference, to see between two good and evil, to be able to differentiate it is very, very key. And I commend you people that stood on the path of truth. You understand? Thank you very much. God will bless you all. I'm here at work and I will have to disconnect. Continue to preach the gospel. God bless you all. God bless you, my brother Maswa, and every other people there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You made a great impact. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for that amazing contribution. And as we move forward, let's hear from we'll have somebody who is there, Young Wealthy. I think Young Wealthy, you are moving, you are on the motion. Are you ready to talk? If you have chance to talk, speak to Biafrans before we play the remaining of this video and start reaching our conclusion. Go ahead, Young Wealthy. Let's hear you. Happy New Year.
Good morning, sir. Happy New Year, sir.
Same to you.
And happy New Year Happy New Year to all the Biafrans across the world.
Thank you.
It's a very amazing speech that last speaker did, and this actually I've been telling people that it is the British that sets these these people within this geographical space known as Nigeria today disarrayed into the mess we are. So it's until we begin to tell ourselves this truth that we will decide how to take responsibility, or otherwise we will remain on a very high degree of irresponsibility and keep suffering and complaining. But my happiness is that we have Nnamdi Kanu, who came up, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who came up and opened our eyes and led us to the points he did, and as well, Mazi Simon Ekpa, who took us to this level we are today. And today we are a nation, a sovereign nation, today with a government and every national institutions that has to do with a nation. So I'm really super glad about this. And that's why I will be straight to advise our people who are within the government of USB, United Nations of Biafra, that they should keep sentiment aside. A government is not opposition is not a platform for any other thing other than service. And
exactly.
when you are appointed by the people to lead them, I think it's always a nice one to know that you have an obligation. They gave you a seat for service. So, but if you force yourself into it, just like Nigerians are doing, into their government seats, you realize that you become something else. You turn out a beast. You turn out a tyranny. So I use this opportunity to advise our people who are scanning for position to understand that it is not the way they look at it. It's a platform. And so when you want to define government, you say it is the government of the people. That means set by the people, the citizens, the indigenes, and then by the people and for the people. So it's not something else the way they are looking at it. But then they should allow us Biafrans to choose them so that they will take up that obligation as to know that it is a platform and a time to serve Biafrans, so that they will think well, organize themselves, how to really serve the people, and satisfy our desires, our heart desires, to make us a better people, to make us a better nation and to turn out a developed nation. Unlike Nigeria, that has served for a long time since independence until now is underdeveloped. That's not what we are looking for, both in leadership and other settings. Is underdeveloped. So we are looking for a nation where people will live like human beings, where we will have at heart one another, just like the Europeans are, having themselves or enjoying themselves as human beings, not as beasts, or living like human beings. So we want to live likewise. We shouldn't be exception. So leadership also should be kept aside. And let's know that we are all pursuing one cause to achieve it together. And not for some people to come up selfishly, I want to bear this position, and not just that, I want people to know that I am this or I am that. No, that's not the issue. We are looking for a nation where equality will be upheld. I mean,
Absolutely.
naturally as God has set it, So that is the kind of nation we are looking for, and to ensure that we put our hands together to take responsibility, both the people on top, the people in the leadership posts, and we who are like, behind, who set them up there, joining our hands all together to know that it's obligation to ensure the needful is done. So I think this is more advisable. This is what is required. So we should begin to set our minds like this and know that it's not one man's business, or either that we are doing it for Oyendu Nnamdi Kanu or Mazi Simon Ekpa, or maybe just as someone else. No, we are doing it for ourselves, and more especially our unborn children, to come and meet a legacy laid down. Is a good setting, policies laid down that will let people live like human beings and not like animals. Nigeria, until date, over about 60 years old since independence, is still like a jungle. Oyendu Nnamdi Kanu addressed Nigeria like to be a zoo. I said no. He even pampers them, because Nigeria is worse than zoo. Zoo is a very nice place that has partitions, that observes law and order. Because that's why you find the dangerous animals, the lions, the pythons survives in the zoo without consuming those ones that are weaker. Like the rats, the rabbits, the cutting grass, and the rest like that. There's no survival of the fittest in the zoo. Everyone survives very well and observes bans. But in Nigeria, the bans are not observed. Boundaries, are not kept. There's no law and order. That depicts a jungle, a total jungle. So USB, United Nations of Biafra, shouldn't be like that. That's not what we are expecting.
United States of
We
Biafra.
want to, United States of Biafra. Is not to be like that. We are not proposing for a zoo, neither a jungle like Nigeria, but we are preparing for, a society of humans. So we should begin to put our hands together and make sure we go for what we want, and not a leadership torso, divide and rule game that British brought to Nigeria, that is today punishing people and making people to live like animals, which is not supposed to be like that. I heard Donald Trump one day say, freedom is not given, and that freedom is something natural that God himself has created every human with. And so others shouldn't feel they are more than others, like either want freedom and while others do not want it. So we shouldn't be looking at it that way. So we should put our hands together to, stand for freedom and to ensure that we go for it and have it. From the days of John the Baptist, the Bible says the kingdom of God suffers violence, and violence has to take it by force. At this time, if we have gone out for how long, how many years ago, we have been embarking on peaceful protests, agitation for freedom, then the Nigerian states, if they are not seeing it like that, and then if they are not having, seeing, the need for them to stand up and attend to us, and then dialogue for the right thing to be done, then we have to, do it, take the responsibility in our hands, and take our destinies in our hands and do the needful, just like the Bible has said. If it applies for us, we have to apply the force unanimously, joining our hands together to achieve it. Because we have to live and we must live. I have a lot to say, but I want to pause here for the moment because I think there's a lot in the house to do.
Thank
So
you.
I thank all of us here. I think the little I've said is enough for people who are wise to, to give it a consideration. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that amazing contribution, my beloved brother, Young Wealthy. We miss you. Thank God you're back with us. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that wonderful contribution. I will hope to see you more. So, my fellow Biafrans that are watching anywhere you are watching us from, we have spent more than 3 hours on this program and we are going to be rounding up. And before we round up, let us listen to this very video I was playing. Let us complete the video, then we can now begin to draw the curtain.
Begin to interpret it, what restructuring means to them, whatever way you look at it, the overarching point, the most important point is that, we must return to the original vision, of federalism, upon which this country, was formed. What we have been experiencing is a distortion, and it's compounded by the inability of those who seek to distort it to even properly, interpret their own vision. They don't seem to even be clear, how their own idea of central command control system will work. They failed.
Thank you very much. It's been a nice time with you here, reviewing your book, The Politics of Biafra and the Future of Nigeria. Thank you. Congratulations on your book.
Thank you, Kunle. Thank you very much.
For joining us on this program. I appreciate everyone that has participated on this program in one way or the other. Everyone that has played a role in this program in one way or the other, I appreciate you and I thank you for being part of the program. I pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama will continue to guide and protect us, and we will continue to pursue our freedom the best way you can. Please, anything you can do to make sure that Biafra win recognition, continue to do. Any way you can support the government of Biafra, the United States of Biafra government under the command of our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orebweze. Do everything you can to give your support to her. It is very important because we are heading home and nothing is going to stop us. No matter how they try, they will definitely fail. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every one of us that played a role on this program. I will see you again tomorrow by the special grace of Chukwu Okike. Thank you and stay blessed.
Aha. Aha. Biafra na-enwe ọṅụ. Ụmụ Israel na-enwe ọṅụ. Ọnwụ ka anyị ji ana. Ọnwụ ka anyị ji ana. Hey! Na so, anyị ala. Ụmụ Biafra n'ala. Anyị na-ala n'ala nsọ. Ngwanụ ka anyị lawa. Aka mkpuchi ọnwa. Aka mkpuchi ọnwa. We are unstoppable. We are indefatigable. Ebe anyị na-ala bụ obodo ọma. The 14 states of Biafra. Ngwanụ. Anyị ana. Ihe Chidere odego ya. Chidere anyị Biafra. Anyị alawala. Ma ndị nọ n'obodo oyibo, ma ndị nọ na Naịjirịa, ma ndị nọ na mba ụwa ọzọ dị iche iche. Obi kadawala. Ọ na-akpanyụ n'ugwu na ndịda. Oge ụnụ anyị erugo. Webe ọṅụ. Webe ọṅụ. Webe ọṅụ.